Hey everyone, it's Screw Loose again with another side-by-side for SnowRunner. Today we're going to look at a couple of heavy vehicles. This is the Kolob 74941, and we're going to go ahead and put that up against the Derry Longhorn 4520. Alright guys, let's go ahead and take a look at the Longhorn first. We're going to go ahead and use the third engine option, but you could use the second one with no problem. The third one just seems to add some extra durability. It comes in handy, but it's not really necessary. The balanced gearbox is being used here as well. High range and off-road transmissions are available, but for the usual fuel economy reasons, I'm not going to use them. Stock suspension is the only option. We are maxing out on 50-inch mud tires, and by default you'll get all-wheel drive and lockable differential. I have upgraded to the extended heavy winch here. The Derry 4520 is a pretty huge truck, and it's fairly powerful, but I don't really feel like it's represented well compared to its real-life counterpart. That's the Oshkosh M1070 HET. Nevertheless, it's pretty capable. However, it is only able to mount the high and low gooseneck saddles for add-ons. You'll be able to pull a pretty wide variety of trailers, so it's still pretty useful, but so can a lot of medium trucks. The biggest advantage for this comes along with its 8-wheel drive, 4-wheel steering drivetrain. It's really maneuverable for its size. It's a huge truck. It also carries 400 liters of fuel, which can last a pretty long time, since this is not really the most fuel-hungry vehicle in the game. And this is the Kolob. This is going to use the second of the 3 engine options available. The third is more powerful, bringing its power rating to an A from an A-, but as usual it also decreases fuel economy to an undesirable level. Special gearbox is being used here. Can upgrade to the advanced version for more gears, but it doesn't really seem necessary, so I didn't do it. Stock suspension is the only option, rolling on some big old 59-inch mud tires. In fact, you can only use 59-inch mud tires. There are no ATs or chains or so on and so forth, but you will get 4 style options. As with the Derry, you'll also have all-wheel drive and a lockable differential by default, and we are upgraded to the extended heavy winch. So yeah, the Derry's big, but the Kolob is even bigger. It's got more power than the Derry, and it's also quite maneuverable because of this impressive 8x8x4 setup. Though it does steer with the 4 front wheels instead of splitting it between the front and rear axles. Its bulk is going to mean that it's slow, but it can turn pretty sharply. Unfortunately, you're only going to have the option of the high saddle as an add-on, and will even be limited in the types of high saddle trailers, the high gooseneck trailers that you can use. But with the differential locked, it's pretty unstoppable, and even though it's slow, it can pull whatever you want pretty much wherever you want it to go. The base stats for both vehicles are pretty close, but they're not as similar as others I've put against each other. It should be pretty interesting. Alright, and let's take a look at the route here, guys. I did test a bunch of times in Michigan, and though I liked those routes better, I didn't like the variances that I was getting in them. So here we are in Taymyr. Both trucks are going to start here at the lumber mill, and they're going to take a load of cement to the oil rig further up the map. The terrain here is windy, but it's not super muddy, which is good actually because speed is neither of these vehicles' forte. As always, we're going to watch this in real time, and I'll get back to you soon. Okay guys, there we go. The Derry managed to lumber on in here first. In other tests though, the Kolob would run ahead and sometimes the Derry would catch up and back and forth, so on and so forth. But this route seemed the most consistent after a few runs, and I will say that the Longhorn does not excel in deep mud, where the Kolob is like fine. Though it's not useless, it is probably not your best option there. Neither of these trucks had any issues pulling a trailer here, but the Kolob's like titanic size makes it pretty slow. Certainly not helped by the fact that I got it briefly hung up in a tree. That was my fault though. I did use the footage, however, because I also got the Derry hung up for a moment, and that evened things out. So I don't know, you guys, I'm not really sure I'm a huge fan of either of these vehicles. They're both pretty limited in add-on capacity. They're slow, they don't have amazing power-weight ratios, especially compared to a lot of the medium trucks. But they are pretty fun to drive, I'll give them that. So yeah, given the option, which one of these would you guys use? So I am probably going to come back with more of these, but I am going to go ahead and enjoy the new map for a little while, so I will see you guys again soon. I'm Screws from TwinstiqLP. Thanks for watching. Have a great one.